And the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education examination enters its third and last day today, with candidates expected to conclude with social studies and Christian religious education papers, as I just told you. The exam has largely been without a hitch, apart from an incident in Narok on Wednesday, where exam materials on transit disappeared. Wednesday also saw President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto visit candidates in 2 schools. And now Martin Munene is in Nyeri County, is our reporter, where Education Principal Secretary Dr. Belio Kipsang is observing the exam process, and that is, Martin, at Nyamachaki Primary School. Martin.
All right. Very good morning to you, Hussein, in studio. This morning, as you've said, across the country, pupils actually getting themselves ready to sit for their final paper. And behind me, the exam has already started. And, these pupils, of course, just going on about their business. And, of course, as Hussein, let me say that out of the 1 million, over 1 million candidates who are sitting for this particular exam, 17,000 of those are actually doing it from this particular county. And as this examination comes to a close, Education PS Belio Kipsang visited this particular school to oversee the beginning of this exam. And one of the things that he said is that now the focus is slowly shifting from this examination to the KCSE, which starts next week. But also, even as we do that, he said that there are things that have to be looked into that have come out from this particular examination that we've concluded. One of the things, like you've mentioned, is the case of 17 students who are at the risk of not sitting for the examination because the exam papers were not being found. That is in Narok. But above and over and above that, Hussein, one of the most shocking things that has come out of this examination is that over 100 teenage pregnancies, over 100 pupils actually sat for the exams, some in hospitals, others actually expectant. The PS was very clear, that this will not be allowed to continue, saying that it is illegal, and therefore, the PS talked about this particular incident. And as you're going to be, listening to him, speaking about this particular incident that has left, of course, the nation talking about what is being done when it comes to ensuring that our children are actually safe and they are going to be able to sit for the exams in future and continue with the education without having to deal with teenage pregnancies.
Wait for more than 2 hours to sit for the examination. What is very important is that our children sat for the exam. For us, that is the bottom line. Every child in this country, including those 17 in that school, numbers will actually be reduced, or we'll see any, compared to this year. When we went around the country at the beginning of this year on what we call the National Dialogue on Education, one of the issues which came up very strongly is the issues of teenage pregnancies. And as we are all aware, the Children's Act is very clear. These are underage, so we cannot talk of consent. Whatever it is that anybody has done is illegal, and that is actually defilement. And as we said then, and we continue to say, and I'm sure the county commissioner will mention on this, because this is a question of security. This is like assault on our children. And we shall make sure that those who perpetrate this are dealt with. You saw last year we deregistered and even cassetted 71 teachers who had canon knowledge with our children. We shall go beyond our teachers. We shall go to those villages. We know there are some places where people meet and they do local negotiation. They give out 1 cow here, 1 thing there. We shall not allow that. And we shall arrest anybody, including the parents who are engaged in this backroom negotiation while they are compromising the future of our children. It is not acceptable in any society, particularly in our own country. We shall not condone this and we shall not accept it. And we are telling all of us, parents mainly, we are parents ourselves, let's give our children an opportunity to be children and to grow up as that, and that they should be able to realize their full potential, and that as we prepare to hand over the baton of life in this relay of life, we should be able to hand over to well-prepared people. Negotiations and backroom deals on our children will not be accepted. And those who are engaged in these backroom negotiations, be they parents or our officers, if any of our officers are involved in this backroom thing, we shall go for them. And for sure, being people that they have been given responsibility to protect Kenyans and to protect our children particularly, if they will be part of this backroom thing, we shall for sure go for them. We are delivering as one in government, and each of our departments in government will be able to deliver on this and do that which is expected of us. So thank you very much again. Asanteni sana our colleagues in the 4th Estate. We've done a fantastic job this year. You are among the people who, when we were dealing with this issue in Narok yesterday, we worked together as a challenge, not as a problem, and we were all able to address it because we were doing it in the interest of our children. And that our 17 children were able to do an exam, and they'll be getting their results like everybody else. Let me request the County Commissioner to address 1 or 2 issues you had raised about security, but we are ready for examinations next week. That I can tell you. The system has already been tested in the last 3 days, so we shall be even more prepared on Monday because we shall have been able to have learned from some of the experiences that we saw. There are areas that we shall be able to even do it better as we go forward, because they say if you cannot learn from the experiences and the history, then there must be a problem. So for us, we have learned from some of the experiences and what we've seen, and moving forward from Monday, I'm very sure we shall even do better than we have done in these last 3 days. Asanteni sana.
All right, that was Education PS Belio Kipsang speaking from Nyeri County at Nyamachaki Primary School, where he visited this morning, of course, after overseeing the distribution of exam papers, being very clear that the government is going to be very keen on ensuring that those who are actually involved in cases that have led to so many students actually sitting for the exams expectant are actually dealt with. But he says there are a lot of lessons they've learned, and they're going to be moving forward to, make some changes to ensure that even next year will be a smoother examination, saying or giving a clean bill of health to the just concluded examination, but also noting that it was a sprint. But now from Monday, as the students in secondary schools sit for their national exam, then that's a marathon, and saying that it's all systems go, and they're ready to actually conduct a credible and a fair and a transparent examination for the secondary students come next week. Back to you in studio from Nyeri County, Hussein Martin Monene.
Right, Martin, thank you so much. Of course, we'll join Martin later. We all know what's happening at Karatina later today, where President Kenyatta is heading. And of course, the background there with Mount Kenya region MPs clamoring or demanding more resources. It's a controversial issue, and Martin will be joining you later on. Still on KCPE, Evans Asiba is at Nairobi Road Primary School, that is in Nakuru County, with an update. Asiba.
Thank you very much, Hussein Mohamed. We are at Nairobi Road Primary School. This is one of the schools here in Nakuru. Nakuru County had at least 994 schools that was, maybe let me just say that I was doing this examination since on Monday when the examination kicked off officially. And the candidates in Nakuru County, out of the 1 million in countrywide, Nakuru County have 55,801 candidates in Nakuru have been doing this examination. And just apart from since the examination kicked off on Monday, everything has been going on smoothly. Apart from just some few issues, one was on the first day in Naivasha when one of the center manager who kind of had a confusion in transportation of the examination immediately after being handed over by the government officials. He was suspended. That's in Naivasha for using not the prescribed vehicle to carry the examination. And in Nakuru here, in Kuresoi South, one of the schools yesterday started the examination a bit later, 30 minutes after the official time of the other candidates had already started the examination. That's in Kiptoror, Kuresoi South, the school known as Master Seed. This was after the confusion in their identifying their papers, and just today being the last day for the national examination. Let me say that currently the candidates are sitting for the last paper. That's the social studies and social studies and religious studies here in Nakuru. Everything is smooth. We have talked with all the security agencies, education officials. They all say that everything is okay, apart from just what I've just mentioned to you. And to bring to your attention that in Nakuru we had at least 4 candidates who did the examinations while in hostel at Nakuru level 5 hostel. They were admitted 2 weeks ago, some from Kuresoi, some from in Molo, and also the reports are that one candidate lost life on Thursday last week, that's in Molo. So apart from those few here normal issues, also not normal as such, but the unique issues about 3 incidents, everything is going on smoothly. And Rift Valley Regional Commissioner, that's Chimwango Mugo, who just talked with him a few minutes ago, confirming that everything is going on smoothly. Nothing to be worried of the last day of the examination. From Nakuru counter, back to you studio. I'm Evans Asiba.
Evans Asiba, thank you so much for that.